My daughter had a $100,000 bill.
That's the day everything changed.
I ran on the street and I'm like, officer, I'm looking for my daughter. He's like, oh, she's already gone.
Everything changed.
We went straight to the bail bondsman. We figured we'll do whatever we got to do.
It makes no sense. And this money is gone forever. If you're a person of little means, you don't have a chance. You don't have a chance.
Hi guys, welcome back to the CONVO Couch. I'm Fiorella.
I'm Pasta.
And the United States and the Philippines are one of two countries that still use a money bail system. In this system, the poor suffer more and the rich get away with being richer. In California, there is about, the average for the bail is about $50,000, and the majority of people can't afford that, so they have to sit in jail while they wait for trial.
Yeah.
And that kind of forces them to go towards the bail bondsman, and then it just goes from there because it becomes a system where they have to give money for something that sometimes isn't even a huge crime, like we saw in the video.
Yeah. I mean, even if they're innocent and there are no charges, the money that they give away to a bail bondsman never comes back.
And they're not getting back that money.
They're not getting back that money. And if you think about it, $50,000, you know, the average bail bondsman is going to charge you anywhere from $5,000 to $7,500. Now, we said this before.
10%.
50% of the people in this country don't even have $1,000 in the bank for anything. So now you got $5,000 to $7,500. And the case that we looked at from Brave New Films, and if you get a chance,
Check out Brave
New Films. They have a lot about this, the bail process and how to fix bail reform. And she had a $10,000 bail that had to be paid to the bail bondsman. Never gets that money back. Young girl. Her friend, not even her friend stole $38 worth of product, and there's a $100,000 bail for her.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
That's because the system, the for-profit bail system, is focused on making money out of people rather than helping them.
Yeah.
It's not focused on what dangers they pose to the community, but it's rather focused on the amount of money. And
that's an interesting
insurance
point,
companies are underwriters for bail bondsmen. So what happens is they form this huge mafia in which people, especially poor and minorities, are the victims.
Yes. And the bail bondsman just takes their money and bankrolls them, does all their dirty work, bails the people out, goes after them when they don't come around. It really is. To tell you the truth, this is one of those subjects I didn't think a lot about. And I actually saw a video from Kamala Harris. We've talked about Kamala Harris once again. She's somewhat of an establishment Democrat that has some progressive ideology when it comes to certain stuff. She's obviously have the Mnuchin thing hanging over her neck. But her and Rand Paul have sponsored a bill to reform the bail system.
Correct.
To make it about the bail system should be equivalent to the crimes committed.
Correct.
Like you said, not to just the rich people who can just bow at any time, pay, and get away, and the poor got to sit there and suffer. I read something that said we have over 500,000 people sitting in jail right now that can't make
And that's
bail.
a drain on taxpayer money if you really think about it. Like we're paying for that when they shouldn't even be there in the first place. And the California Bail Reform Act of 2017 is seeking to eliminate that and provide a different way of thinking. It's not going to get rid of the whole system, but it's basically going to make it so community safety is the number one priority, not your skin color or not how much money can be made off you, in order for these people to get back home safe and get out of jail while they await their trial. And it's going to give them more pretrial services so they have information, so they don't fall behind, and so they do everything they can to stay away from jail.
Yeah, this is, everything leads in. We talked about the prison industrial complex before. This is it at work. If there's money to be made in the United States, the good old USA, Uncle Sam is going to make that money off your back, and that's the way it's going to happen. We talked about this too as well. It costs taxpayers something around the tune of $38 million a day because everybody's sitting waiting for a trial that can't pay. Us, $38 million a day. And we have somebody sitting in jail who might have smoked a joint in public or was with somebody who stole $38 worth of, she had dish detergent.
Yeah.
This dish detergent. This is poor people.
The punishment doesn't fit the crime. And that's a huge issue with a lot of our prison system where the punishment doesn't fit the crime, and it's usually people of color or poor people that suffer.
What about the bail bondsman? Because I really don't look at them as it's just another guy trying to make a living.
Exactly. They're another guy trying to make a living, and the insurance companies underwrite them. So basically that means like they're forced to do this in a way. It's a system. It's a whole systemic problem and that we have to tackle at least by putting the focus on community safety rather than profiteering off the poor.
Absolutely. And you're talking about a $4 billion a year industry in bail bondsmen.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. The system, you know what I'm saying? And once again, Brave New Films, if you haven't checked it out,
please check
out Brave New Films. An awesome company, you know what I'm saying? They have different films about different subjects or different areas, different topics, and this is one of them we saw. It was so intriguing. It's a shame that we were going through CNN, MSNBC, looking at Fox, which is supposed to be the news, and then you turn on Brave New Films and you get more news from a documentary than you do the actual news.
People don't know about this, and I honestly didn't know it until I heard it at a California Democratic meeting here in Los Angeles, and we had a speaker that's really pushing for getting bail reform into the legislation, and it's called the SB 10 and the AB 42. So that's the actual particular name of it.
Can we shift the subject a little bit? Let's talk about Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Since
we are a political show, whatnot. This is an area, I think this is a progressive issue. I mean, once again, it's in the shadows. People like, Brave New Films, Kamala Harris, Rand Paul, the person you went and saw speak the other day, they're kind of bringing this to light. This is a big plus for her. I'm saying, what I always say, she's like the second coming of Barack Obama. She doesn't have a lot of history that's going to hurt her. She's fairly new. Mm-hmm. She does have certain things. She has the Mnuchin situation. If you don't know about the Mnuchin situation, is she had a chance to bring Mnuchin to trial, to charge him as the state attorney, and she chose not to because she was receiving money from him. However, she stood behind single payer, and now she's been a champion of this, of the bail reform situation. How does this help her status moving forward as far as a presidential run?
That's the thing. Is she using being like this to help her, or is she doing it because
she's a lawyer?
She's
a lawyer. I think this is something that's close to her. I think she's had situations before where she's had clients that were stuck in jail, didn't have the money to get out. So I think this is something that she's championing. Obviously, she's not taking money from the insurance industry, otherwise she might have a different tune. But once again, this is a spot. She picked it. She owns this. This belongs to her and Rand Paul, and this is something she's going to use to run on. So I mean, it's just something we have to pay attention to. Once again, it's that judging. I say, the Pelosi's, the Schumers, it's time to go.
Yeah,
you got to be. But I'm not ready to kick Cory Booker. I'm not ready to kick Kamala Harris out the door. And these are the reasons why. These are reasons or situations where centrists or incrementalists can stand behind and say, okay, look, we're getting something here. We're going to save the taxpayers some dollars if we get bail reform. So, we're going to stop putting innocent people behind bars for a long amount of time.
So that goes back to it, like where if you're able to accept this, like, are we ever going to be able to leave the Democratic Party? Because if we're accepting people like this that are clearly not necessarily progressives, but more left to the centrists, then obviously, like, we're still holding on to some hope that they might make.
What if Bernie
change?
decides he's not going to run? What if a progressive doesn't run, and there are a lot of centrist established Democrats up there?
I mean,
who are you going to choose? If you had to choose between her, Cory Booker, or Hillary Clinton?
Cory Booker is a big pharma. Like he's with big pharma, and that's something I can't.
He did get behind the.
That's something I can't. Like, big pharma is the huge issue in this country, and like that's something I can't get behind. I would rather get behind Kamala Harris.
I would too personally rather get behind
Booker.
Kamala Harris too, because this is once again, she owns this, and I still think the healthcare bill that they're all co-sponsoring is just smoke and mirrors because they know it's not getting through the Senate. they know it's not getting through this
Right,
Congress.
that's what I'm saying.
So they can stand behind it in campaigning, knowing that it's never ever come to a vote. And if it does come to a vote and it's close, they're pulling out. You'll see them change their whole tune. But once again, it was different. When I saw Barack Obama speak at the Democratic National Convention when John Kerry was running, I said, this man's going to be president. I look at Kamala Harris and I said, we got to watch out. She could be on the ticket for president. She was the bulldog in the Senate hearings against, Sessions and whatnot, and the way she just attacks the whole Russian probe. She was just attack dog. And you see all these establishment Democrats really rallying behind her. Plus, the identity politics, she's black, she's a woman.
Yeah.
She's right up there, alley. I don't know about you, but...
I mean, she's acceptable, but I don't like how we're,
Yeah. She's better than Hillary Clinton, but that's about it. And hopefully we won't have to make a decision.
Did you guys look at our
runs.
little bobbleheads, by the way?
Yeah, but she's over there, Hillary Clinton. She's hanging out on the right, but...
she's on my side.
So that's it for this subject. And when we come back...
Tax reform.
Tax reform. We're going to talk about tax reform. We know you're going to love that. Get back with us.